Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. 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 For the morning cock crow, here anti-best, Allah. Ice your bundle, there we go, here anti-best, Allah. For the morning cock crow, here anti-best, Allah. Ice your bundle, there we go, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Washa Allah, washa Allah, washa Allah fa. Yesha Allah, here anti-best, Allah. Washa Allah, washa Allah, washa Allah fa. Yesha Allah, here anti-best, Allah. Feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like a morning star. I feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like a morning star. I feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like a morning star. I feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like a morning star. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best.
A pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Here anti-best, here anti-best.
And how are we doing this evening?
Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah.
I hope everybody's doing fine.
Here anti-best,
Feeling for a little folk song this evening, bye.
here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah.
Go ahead and share the live right now.
Here anti-best,
Let them know that Royalty James is on.
Allah.
Another class in session, right?
Here anti-best, Allah. Ice your bundle, there we go. Here anti-best, Allah. For the
Last all, you a little folk song like this, that.
anti-best, Allah.
Hey!
Ice your bundle, there we go. Here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here
Share the live right now.
anti-best,
Welcome to the classroom, right?
here anti-best.
Class is in session.
Washa Allah, washa Allah, washa Allah fa. Yesha Allah, here anti-best, Allah. Washa Allah, washa Allah, washa Allah fa. Yesha Allah,
Get on the live right now.
Allah.
Tag somebody.
Feel like, feel
Them see Carla is doing.
star.
Let them know that I'm on.
Feel like, feel
Let them know that I'm here.
star. I feel like,
It's Christmas week, right?
feel like a morning star. I feel like,
Somebody say they love the folk song, right?
I feel like a morning star. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah. Here anti-best, here anti-best, here anti-best, Allah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to each and every one of you. I just wanted to start today in that kind of way, man. A pleasant good evening to everybody. It is 4 minutes past 06 in Grenada, Carriacou, PD Martinique. It was a lovely, lovely, lovely day in St. George's. However, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot share the same sentiment for the persons that are on the western corridor, that of St. Mark's and St. Patrick's. I am learning of some inclemency and some weather that is bringing some flash flooding to some areas, and this is really alarming because I am in the south of the island, and today outside got black for just about 15 minutes. Outside looked dark, and then it was all bright and sunny again. So I really can't say, what is causing that inclemency, and I can say that it is not, throughout the whole of Grenada. I don't know if Carriacou is experiencing that level of weather conditions, but I am hearing St. Andrew, St. Patrick's, St. Mark's, those areas, and I think I didn't hear anything about St. John's. but I am hearing that there is some inclemency in some weather in some of those places, and it is really alarming because I'm saying that we are really not experiencing this in St. George's for whatever reason. But however, be it as it may, I pray that you all keep dry out there and keep safe. I am learning as it relates to some slidings in the River Sally area that's in St. Mark's, right after you leave the town of Victoria, getting on to places like River Sally and Waltham and Nonpareil. I'm learning as it relates to that there is some rocks and so on that are falling. So you need to be extra careful to the persons on the western side of the island. So we're asking you to take all precautious measures. If it means getting home at a speedier time than usual, you may need to do so today. All right, so we're asking persons to please, take your time, but however, we want you to do so in a timely manner. All right, so please be careful, be very safe out there, people. You don't want anything to happen to you or any other family members. Let me start by not being able to have been here last Thursday. I was out there in Victoria, St. Mark's, and I want to say that it was a wonderful evening. The St. Mark's Fiesta that took place by the Parliamentary Office, St. Mark's Parliamentary Office. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. I was out there, and I don't know, for some reason I did enjoy this one more than the other ones that I had attended before. But this one was extra, and it was really, real fun. All right, although later on in the evening we had a little inclemency of the weather, but it's God's will. So once it's God's will, let it be done. All right, pleasant good evening to the people out there over on my YouTube page. All right, Lola Williams is saying, yes, Stitch, you are the best. Take a bow. Thank you so very much. All right. So I know we're ready to talk. We're ready to have a conversation. Season greetings to each and every one of you. I know definitely we will do our last class tomorrow. We will sit in tomorrow. So don't think that today is the last. But I want to extend season greetings to the persons that may not be here tomorrow. But to the persons that are here, let us start our conversations. Now, I know of many persons who will be aware or should be aware as it relates to what the Public Service Commission dictates as it relates to public servants being involved or being openly involved in political affiliation. My apologies. However, during the last election campaign, it was somewhat accepted. And so we saw after the election results, many persons who supported the present administration did not hesitate to make public that they would have supported the political organization. Some persons were seen in political rallies and meetings wearing the party colors, maybe not jerseys, but the party colors. However, I was alarmed as it relates to not one, and the conversation started because of one, but however, many others have since been identified, that of nurses and police officers and teachers and doctors and so on, that are now openly basking glory as it relates to the present administration's victory. I must say, the Public Servants Commission did not at no point in time say that you cannot support a political organization. What they ask of persons to do is to ensure that when you're doing so, you do it with a conscientious thought that you must understand that you are there to serve the public. And so I saw Carla was one of the persons who posted it, and it was also brought to my attention by another individual as it relates to a specific person within the public service who I think to believe is a nurse or some form of employment within one of the health sectors, right? And she openly expressed what I believe is her favor as it relates to the political organization. No, as I said, there is nothing wrong in supporting an organization, right? And at the time she made the comment during the presentation of one of the senators, I'm seeing that they're stating that she's a nurse, and I want to believe that they too fall under the public service. Now, I am not against an individual sharing their opinion and knowledge, but what showed me off in its entirety is the end of her comment. And I would read it, and it says, "What really happened to this man? Mr. Lewis plain he didn't have understanding. Wicked mark all over your face. Have the union ever negotiated for us to get an honorarium? They start with the nurses and doctors. They are the ones leaving the record numbers. No offense to the maid and orderlies and cleaners. Can they do nurses and doctors' work? It is a strategy to retain professionalism. Or professional, sorry. Our Prime Minister love our people. Everyone time will come. Stop this wickedness in Parliament." Now, as I said, that in itself, and I remember the caption in which Carla would have brought up, or I think I saw it in the comment section. Now, let me tell you what that brings to the fore. When you're a public servant and you're expected to serve the general public, if you're so wholehearted in supporting a political organization, it will hinder you in doing your job without fear or favor. And people need to understand that. I am not saying that it will happen, but that is what would arise in one's mind. Because if you support the National Democratic Congress and you're a nurse and a supporter of the NNP comes to a medical station or seek medical assistance, you may not want to assist them. And you see, when you do that, and hence the reason why when the PSC spoke and other entities spoke on the regulation, they ask persons not to be openly affiliated. Not to be openly affiliated. And you see, when you do that, you jeopardize your position and the level of professionalism that you are expected to exercise. And I've really been seeing more and more of this. Some are trying to hide it, but others are just bold. And I think the Public Service Commission should really have a conversation with this individual, because we do have also photograph of the individual being in a political rally wearing the party color of the National Democratic Congress. So if it's that alone, if that wasn't evidential enough, I think her comment last week during the senator's presentation, it should bring more light into the fact that she ought to be spoken to. And as I said, there is nothing wrong in sharing your choice or saying openly who you support. I can have a colleague and say, "Listen to me, either NEC, either NMP." But you see, when you go out there and you start making it a public interest, or it's in your public capacity, it's wrong. It is wrong. The little comments that normally would take place on Facebook and so on, you stay away from that. Many persons, while I was a police officer, knew that I supported the New National Party, knew my support was for the New National Party, but at no point in time I attended no rally or anything like that. You would not have seen me on a podium at no point in time speaking. Because even if you share your political opinion, at the same time, you must respect your professional position. You ought not to be so publicly involved in political affiliation when you're a public servant. And I'm seeing more and more of them coming out, crawling out from all under the rocks and so on, commenting on the certain things. And that should not be. And the Public Service Commission must, especially this individual, and there are many other clippings, there are many other screenshots that persons have sent me where she going back and forth on the Facebook comments. You ought to keep your professionalism intact. It hinders your decision making. Or maybe somebody, maybe not, but at the same time, a person may be reluctant knowing that you made this public. Somebody could have just been casually watching that and knowing you as a nurse and asking themselves, what is going on? You ought to understand your position. You ought to understand that first. I'm not saying that it didn't happen in back then, because I know the first thing everybody likes to do is compare and contrast. But if it was not right then, it doesn't make it right now. You ought to keep your professionalism intact. And then you're speaking derogatively, disrespectfully, wondering if the orderlies and so on and so forth could do nurses and doctors' job. My mother was an orderly and she did more work than some nurses when she do a night shift. She would do more work, she would get more done when she do a night shift from 7 in the night to 7 in the morning. Things like folding gauze and bathing patients and so on and so forth. Some of you all go to work try to take work for 7 after 9, or you're just walking up the step. So don't come and speak as it relates to the certification all you have over orderlies. I know some orderlies that do much more than a lot of nurses and doctors at the general hospital. Much more. Sometimes having to finish 7 in the night or in the morning, and after 9, 10 in the morning, they're still at the general hospital, bathing patients and so on. Because some of you are just coming to work, may sign in, check a book or two, and go and sit down and juke on your phone. So at the end of the day, I believe they should have gotten the monies that you all are getting. Half of you all don't do absolutely nothing. And by the time you see 2 o'clock, when all you have to leave, the emergency room could be filled with persons. And if 2 o'clock, all you have to leave by 4:45, you all pack back long. So don't come and speak as it relates to whether or not orderlies and so on could do the work doctors and nurses do. Some of all you just have the certification and the learning and the education over somebody's orderlies. But when you put task to task and practical to practical, half of you all don't do anything within an 8 hours period. If somebody's not bleeding profusely or somebody look like they go dead anytime soon, you all must sit down on your rear end and do nothing. So don't come and compare and contrast as it relates to if orderlies and so on could do whatever. They get their work done. Half of you all don't get the work done when you all go to work on a daily basis. Sometimes you see nurses walking up the step minutes to 10 when you ask them what time they have to take work for since 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And if you're in town after 11 minutes to 12, you might still see them come back down and buy lunch. So take it easy with this talk about no offense to maid and orderlies. They're doing a damn good job up there too. They have been doing an excellent job. And so the recognition should have gone to them at this time, because last year, or look at all the recognition. So maybe this year, who should have been getting was doctors and orderlies and maids. So don't come and talk stupidness and making stupid comments. Right? So the Public Service Commission need to look into the things like this. Not saying somebody cannot share their opinion on who you support or so on or so forth. That is up to you. That is up to you. You can say to an individual, yeah, I support the X and Y, but you see, when you start bringing it out, it breaks your professionalism. Your public scrutiny is being looked at differently. Persons are looking on you differently. All right? So I'm just saying. Now I'm seeking some clarification from in the classroom, because some information would have been brought to my news desk. Because, as I always say, the National Democratic Congress, they love headlines. They like when the thing just come up and it look good. However, ladies and gentlemen, an individual who made inquiries within their place of work as it relates to that 25%. I can say to you that they have been given some shocking news. And so maybe the Minister of Finance and others can come and make clarity to this. But it was brought to the attention of the person when making inquiry was that 10% of that 25% will be going into income tax and 5.5% will go to NIS. So out of that 25% that government beat their chest on, everything that you would have heard last week, the probability exists, and I'm subjected to corrections, and so only if government brings some light to it, that 15.5% of those monies would go to income tax and NIS respectfully. At the end of the day, that is just from the classroom asking for a little clarity. Asking for a little clarity. But however, I'll look Richards again. Come back again and asking about country moving forward. And everything in Grenada is politics. I would not respond to him today because, as I always see, I start to do it a little folk song. So don't let him, I won't let him bring out the ancestral devil in me. Alright? So we're asking clarity, ladies and gentlemen, from the government. Because there are persons making inquiries from the financial departments. And it's been clarified to them that 10% of that monies, the 25% that was mentioned, will be going into income tax, 10%, and 5.5 goes to NS, which leaves a megawatt, 9 point something. So the question posed, what may be the take home amount in its true sense when it comes to that 25% that was boasted on? Because what will happen, ladies and gentlemen, that if that monies goes past at the threshold of 3,000 or so, 10% will be taken off for income tax and 5.5 to NS. So I don't understand how you could give me a little pangkwai, you give me a little bly for the Christmas to enjoy myself, buy an extra ham, and I still can buy the extra ham because at the end of the day, poof, I don't get what you tell me you're giving me. So I believe stringently that government need to address this query that we're hearing rising itself in the dust. Because we're hearing it here and there. We don't have anything concrete. Somebody say listen to heartbeat. Well, it seems like the information is out. So government, we need some clarification on what could be the probable take home. So let's just come and say 25%, so on and so forth. 25% would be paid. But persons may go home with a mega 9.5% of that 25%. Can you believe this? Tell you they like headline. 25%, everybody get 25% and they jump up. But at the end of the day, we know definitely when we do the math, because you know when we see figures, it just turn us on. So we're seeking to get clarification from government when it comes to the payments of that 25%. All right? And ladies and gentlemen, we continue because we have a whole day. We have a whole day to talk. We have time still remaining. Let me say to you that there are persons again, you see, and you see, at the end of the day, you have to listen, you have to be on the ground. As Larry Joseph said in one of his stand-up comedy shows in Trinidad, you have to be on the ground. People on the ground that does know. You understand me? There are certain people, they start to come out in the rocks. There are some people who castigated Dr. Mitchell at one time, but now they start to crawl out at the rocks. Let me tell all you people like who so.
Thank God for Keith Mitchell. If it was not for Keith Mitchell, man, crap was no Grenada pipe, and today we would be experiencing economic disaster. So thank God for Keith Mitchell. The economy is experiencing tremendous growth. Thank God for Keith Mitchell, who had the vision and wisdom to bring in that billionaire investor, the man who developed Silver Sands, with the recent opening of the beach house, soon to come Kawana Bay. I think Kawana Bay is part of the CBI program, but the man doing it. And I think there was some negotiations, I understand, going on before. I'm subject to correction, because I don't want to be a liar. And also understand he has a next project going on. So that investor that Keith Mitchell brought in, thank God for him. That man is doing a lot of work. But you know what, that said a long time, oh, he only bringing in crooks and con man. But this one, he had a vision to bring in that man. And the economy is benefiting, and we must give credit where credit is due. Okay, I see that they cut the ribbon yesterday and taking out pictures. And no, okay, no, I have no problem with that. Everything must be continuity, you know. And but it's not all your project. But I'm glad that they continue, and the man is doing a good job. We have to say thank God for Keith Mitchell that he brought in the CIB, Citizens for Investment Program, the selling the passports, and all the numerous projects that right now is storing economic growth. So thank God for Keith Mitchell that this economy is booming.
Ladies and gentlemen, if somebody told me this 3 years ago, if somebody said that to me, that I would have heard this 3 years ago, I would have tell all you lie. And it goes on, because he had one last year after the general election. She was sharing out toilet paper on Halifax Street, close to Food Landing Town, telling all NNP people that we time now. That we having a time we win. Toilet papers was being shared out. But today, ladies and gentlemen,
for the years gone by, for what I see, you don't know Christmas this year. Maybe Christmas might take place till maybe January, February going down the line. But right for now, we don't know Christmas. Because we ain't see nobody. We have people in town. But in the years gone by, all know so. I mean, this is the Christmas week. And right now, the last week for Christmas, I mean, the place does real nasty with people shopping and things, but right now people don't have money. This is the...
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, after last election, toilet paper was being shared out. Share out. If you see the amount of toilet paper, I say, well, this person opened a whole toilet paper factory. I was in shock. As they say, I was in awe. When this clipping reached my news desk, and you're not rejoicing. This is not rejoicing. Well, sorry, this is not rejoicing yet. Because you see, at the end of the day, and I told you all that, you know. If only remember when I said to you all vividly, what hurts most of the NDC supporters is that they cannot stand in the faces of the NMP supporters and say that every time now I get this, and I have this, and I own this, and my party give me this. They still have to, at the end of the day, like me and you, struggle. They still have to struggle. So the people that they glad was sent home and victimized and say, take them out there, them is NNP. Some of these people regain employment, and they who thought that a party would have put them in a nice office with jacket and tie. Persons are asking where my news desk is. It has 5365843. It is located in my hand. Now where my news desk is. Because I don't walk all over the place. I don't be all over the place. So my news desk in my hand. My cellular phone. That is my news desk. That is where the information does come. You understand me? So they thought they would have been rejoicing. And you see, that what makes, and what I always say to people, and I keep saying to you all ever so often, people, in the reign of any government, even if you don't support them, respect the people in authority at the time. And I would forever preach this. Minister who you would be displeased by governance and ministerial rules. You can do that. You can simply say to an individual, I don't like how Andy Williams is doing in his ministry. But when it comes to Minister Andy Williams, you ought to respect the office that he holds. And I would forever preach that. But you see, there was a few of them during the reign of the New National Party did not understand that little strata, that little information, that little understanding, that you ought to respect the people in authority when they're in authority. That is simple. So they thought when the election result came out on the night, at one point all NNP supporters who supported the New National Party would have just disappeared. And Grenada was theirs. And I've always explained there's a difference between campaigning and governance. When you campaign to be elected as a party. When you're elected, you become the government. And when you become government, you are to serve every individual in the state that you're representing. So when you're campaigning, you campaign for your side, for people to support you, and to cast a ballot for you to be elected. But whenever you form a government, you are responsible for every individual within that state, for whatever color they supported. And if you can't understand that as an electorate, if you cannot understand that, then you shouldn't be democratically given the opportunity to cast a ballot. Because whomever you support during a campaign, that is your opinion. When your jersey get on, raise your hand. But whenever government is formed, be it green, yellow, or black, that government serves eyes green or gold. Eyes green and gold. That is what you see when the election result is out on the night of the election. The next day, what you should see is Grenada. And that is where it lies. That is where it lies, ladies and gentlemen. And unless persons cannot see that, then what happens? What happens? Let me say to you, in many countries throughout the world, loyalty to party and politics has gone down the drain. I believe the last reign of loyalty to party, was when we growing up and we hear, oh, he's a Garyite, or he's a revolutionary. The time when people used to sit back and stay within a party for donkey years has gone down the drain. Which takes me to my points that I'm about to raise. If you have water, drink it now. If your electrical bill high, lower it down. Because let me tell you something about politicians and understanding the integrity of a politician. And let me cast your memory way back, because I'm coming to a particular number in Grenada, and understanding the difference between an individual keeping the political morals and integrity as opposed to somebody dragging themselves down the drain for political recognition. I could recall in Grenada right here, within the National Democratic Congress, Peter David, Chester Humphrey was two persons who was expelled. Listen to what you know. Expelled from the political party after years of being a part of that political party. Years of being part of that political organization. When they left that political organization, the only thing I could recall being said was that they may take legal actions as it relates to the manner in which he was expelled. Not a press conference, not on 7 radio programs, not a castigation of Tillman Thomas and Nazim Bok and other members of the party. Nothing that was disclosed, nothing important that was disclosed while they was in governance. I remember even that time, the persons was given the opportunity at the Trade Center at the time the parliament was being seated there to move a no confidence motion against the time political leader and Prime Minister Tillman Thomas. They were given the opportunity to put at the House that, hey, we have no confidence in this gentleman. And they never did. They never did. Because of what? Political moral integrity. And I want persons to understand at this stage why we does attack the lady. Why we does attack the lady. Because in recent weeks, the New National Party have been having series of little pocket meetings. Little meetings there, little meetings there. You have never heard the political party at no point in time raise any concern or the name mention of the individual. None whatsoever. But at the end of the day, you get a little spotlight. You get a little tack. You get a little say. And you're running down. You continue to run down. Well, I believe many of you all who would have listened to Brother Andre Donald yesterday morning, and the closet he opened. Well, Papa, if my closet had skeleton, oh my gosh, I was reading something. I love asking questions, but I forgot you don't answer, right? Said it's a talking program and you have every right not to answer any question. Yeah, but your question had to make sense. Your question had to make sense. So if you wish to pose a question, then pose a question. If somebody could answer it, if I'm going to answer it, then I'm going to answer it. Right, but we're going on. So, Brother Andre would have opened, I believe, more than a closet yesterday. But people, I want to remind you guys. I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you guys on the trustworthiness of this individual. And the National Democratic Congress, as a party, must ask themselves the question, what could have happened in such short space of time? Is this action real or is it fake? Must we believe you or must we not? Are you here genuinely or are you here for favor? Because people, listen this. Listen this.
And so you are attacking him because you realize how valuable he is. And you realize that maybe if I am able to destroy it now before that new person emerge, then we'll be able to get a chance to rise again. That will never happen, Mr. Speaker. The people are saying that this is a tried and tested government and they'll continue to support us. And our current Prime Minister will leave, Mr. Speaker. But he'll leave after, Mr. Speaker, and we have asked for that.
And I went deep into searching for those things. Remember, she said that the reason or the main reason for the discrepancies laid on the concern that she openly told the political leader that, hey, I believe you is the reason why we lose the last election. And he got upset. Here's what you tell the people. But you told the House in the budget debate prior, or in Parliament, sorry, prior, that, hey, the man say he go leave after. The man go leave after. But you forget. And there is more.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, you know, I hear the whole talk about dictatorship and all that. You know why you hear about dictatorship? Because he's a leader that is able to keep his team together. That's a leader that's able to keep his team together. So you call it dictatorship, call it what you want. But that's a leader that is able to keep his team together. Do you see we are fighting? What you see among us is love. And that's because we have a leader who is able, who understands the whole thing, the whole political thing and governance. And so he's able to keep his team together. Well, Mr. Speaker.
And I'm playing that for all you to remember. I'm playing all that for all you to remember. Because Brother Andre did enough yesterday in terms of what he did. But I'm playing those clips, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys to remember. People, this is not 40 years ago. This is not 75 years ago. This is clippings a few weeks. And if you do the maths, maybe, I don't think he passed more than 150 weeks. But let's go, there is more.
Mr. Speaker, the truth is, sometimes we forget. We're not sitting here.
Zealand Point. Tell them.
We're not sitting here just because. Sometimes we forget.
Right.
We're not sitting here just because we want to sit here. People have decided, Mr. Speaker, not once, not twice, they have decided to vote us in 15-0. So how come are we talking leadership issue here? When the nation has made a decision to vote the new national party, that's because they tried others and they have decided that they wanted. So 2013, maybe we could have said, well, there's a failed leadership, so they give us 15. But we served for 5 years, and then they give us the next 15-0. And we're talking about leadership? The people must decide. That's why we are here. This is a democratic country.
I'm telling all you things to remember. Let me bring back all your memory. She not done yet. I have a lot.
Mr. Speaker, we continue to provide support for education, empowerment development, which is a SEED program. And so over the years, we had 13 million. This year will be similarly like last year when we saw an increase of in excess of $18 million.
No. Listen this. Listen this. There is a post on our Facebook page that said that this information that she disseminated then was disseminated unknowingly. She didn't know. She didn't know how much. She didn't know how much it was told to her. And in that same post, she mentioned the dear sister, Kenja Maturing. I don't talk propaganda. So while we here, I'm going to look for it. I don't spread propaganda. So I want to ensure that I go for it and I get it. To assist you guys as it relates to the statement that she made on her Facebook page. Let me go and look for it. Oh no, although she don't block me yet. Believe after that one. Going down still. I will tell you what the information is. Is it that she disseminated on her Facebook page? It was a status that she made. I want to ensure that I get it right. On the SEED program. Look at it. On our Facebook page. Posted December 11th at 5:40 p.m. Go on our Facebook page. You'll see it. She said the SEED the SEED depical expose. Big one. She joined them. The 2022 budget was presented in November 2021. We were given the information that the minister presented. While it was announced it was not budgeted for, the cabinet submission came on the 3rd of January 2022. And I quote, Cabinet at its meeting on the 3rd, Cabinet conclusion number 14 approved among the policies the payment of an increase of 150 per household for beneficiaries of the SEED programs effective January 2022, for a period of 1 year. End of quote. Right? This was in January, after the announcement in the budget in December and making no provisions for an increase. She said, I wish Kinja Maturin Short had the ability to speak and she is no longer blah, 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 blah. But however, This is where the contradiction comes in. She said the minister disclosed. But here we go. She said the minister disclosed. Where you went? I don't want to go far.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, you know, I hear the whole talk about the...
Wrong one. Right, I get the right one.
Mr. Speaker, we continue to provide support for education, empowerment development, which is a seed program. And so over the years, we had 13 million. This year will be similarly like last year when we saw an increase of in excess of $18 million. But Mr. Speaker, we also will be expanding on the amount per household. So a house can get up to $150 more than what they were getting last year. We recall, Mr. Speaker, that the maximum a household would get would be $500. Now, a household can reach up to $650. And the elderly homes will see increase in what they're giving. We are the only government, Mr. Speaker, that deliver on our promise. We're not telling you vote for us, and when we get in government, we'll give you $400. And instead, when you get into government, hundreds of elderly citizens are being thrown out of the program. Mr. Speaker, we must never forget.
Once again, tell them what to do.
Never forget.
Right.
Never forget. The elderly citizens, they do not forget at all. In fact, they're still talking about that. They're still talking. So when you come with your empty promises and you feel, well, you have some people sidetracked, we need to give them more credit, because they deserve more credit than what we think. We think that we can fool them, we can tell them we are good in opposition, and we can just say things. We have all the ideas, but those ideas are opposition ideas, and it's only good for opposition. So these people will continue to be in opposition to give ideas. Mr. Speaker, we are a real government that represents the people of Grenada.
Must I go on? Yes, Amo. Ahamo.
Mr. Speaker, we continue to provide support.
No, not that one. You have a next one. Yamo.
We have shown our track record, our proven track record, Mr. Speaker. And so we hear in all these kind of stories about there's this old and this young. Mr. Speaker, I recall we had a referendum, didn't we? And we gave people a chance to decide whether or not you wanted 2 terms in office, limited terms, or the people decided, Mr. Speaker. So I'm hearing all these things around about leadership and who should step down and who shouldn't step down. How do we decide on who step down and who don't step down as, first of all, as leader of a party? Because what I do know, the leader or a prime minister must first be selected by a constituency, must be elected by a constituency. So you can't talk prime minister if you don't have a constituency, or you can't win a constituency. The only how you could talk prime minister, Mr. Speaker, is when you have a constituency and you could win a constituency. So we cannot be talking about who should step down and who shouldn't step down, Mr. Speaker. In fact, sometimes I say, and I'll say it publicly now, maybe not the right place, but I'll say it still, that sometimes I say to myself that we are unfair. It's us. Because our leader has indicated to us that he is ready to give up. And I recall very vividly,
listen to this part.
it's a private retreat, but I still will talk about it, that he says he's willing and he's ready. But I remember the whole team saying that now is not the time, that we want you to lead us to the next election.
But you come and tell the Grenadian people that the reason why you left the party is because you disclosed to him that he could have been the reason, because he should have left. When you knew that he said that he was leaving. There we go.
I'm satisfied that our efforts is rooted in the biblical precept of whatsoever you do to the least of my brethren, you do unto me. As we face the future, we are confident
Listen to him.
in tried and tested leadership.
Listen to him.
Did I say that? We are confident, Mr. Speaker, in tried and tested and proven leadership. Our national experiences of recent times have always reminded us that leadership matters. I say again, Mr. Speaker, you learn my reputation. Leadership matters. Leadership makes the difference on whether public servants are paid on time or whether they are paid on the 31st and the 35th of the month, which never exists because there's not 31st, it's the next month. Leadership matters whether or not you make promises for increase in salaries and it never fulfilled. Leadership matters, Mr. Speaker, whether or not you make promises to people that you cannot fulfill. Leadership makes a difference on whether we move forward as a united front focused on bringing benefits to our people. In a time of the greatest challenge mankind has faced in 100 years, experience leadership becomes even more critical. And so, Mr. Speaker, we faced an uncertain future, undaunted because of our enduring faith in our God and the confidence in the leadership that has repeatedly and consistently delivered, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are confident of this government's ability to deliver on the plans for the people, Mr. Speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 10. So, people, hence my question, whether or not you understand my stance on what political, moral integrity lies on. You didn't see Peter David doing this, as she did in the House of Parliament, or in all the other gatherings and settings that was held. I believe when Peter David joined the New National Party, it was just a shake hand to Dr. Mitchell, and he joined. It was a big gathering for you. You placed yourself in the position that you're being faced with today. And if it's one thing I took from Andre's program yesterday, I believe it is fitting at this stage, as you would have asked of Dr. Mitchell, please tender your resignation from frontline politics throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. And you should do so on the moral integrity of a wife, a woman, and in the political professionalism in which you should have carried. Nobody asked you to stay. Nobody asked you to stay. It was your right to leave. It was your right to leave. You could have done that. But when you made it a public barrage, because as I said to you, you were not the first person who would have left a political organization. And for years, I don't think no other politicians in Grenada would have had rivalries like a Chester Humphrey to Kid Mitchell, or a Nazim Bok to Kid Mitchell, or a Peter David to Kid Mitchell. And at the end of the day, on the political integrity, Peter David left. At no point in time he took it to national television and radio and say, Dr. Mitchell did, Tillman Thomas did this, until he do this, and Peter David and Nazimbok did this. He kept his political integrity intact. And so today, he still stands among the many persons in Grenada that can be selected as a political leader of any organization, because he kept his moral standard. He kept his moral and political integrity. You drag yourself in the drain. You left the party, not up, nothing, not a post from the party. Nobody went on press conference and said, well, this is the reason why. When the question was posed to the political leader, he basically said nothing. The attention you seek was not given to you. And morally, as a woman, when women leave, they doesn't make noise. So the woman leaving and man don't even know they go. They just come and meet the house empty. You don't even meet the flea on the dog, because they still have a care in the heart. They might bathe the dog and shout a piece of food for you. But you left. And in the same metaphor, you left the house. You left, ma'am. You say all kind of thing in the yard. You don't want me again. You say I don't good. All kind of thing you say in the yard. All kind of thing. You say to me in the yard. You expressed, and then brother Andrew bossed it yesterday. You expressed it during the campaign as it relates to the present political leader and prime minister. Sexual preference. You made it open. Eh? Sister Glow. That one threw me off last night when I was listening, because I had the rebroadcast. Sister Glow now. But you stood in parliament and you heard clip after clip, ladies and gentlemen. You heard clip after clip how much she praised Dr. Mitchell. Oh gosh, you don't hear thing, boy. You don't hear thing, you don't hear thing about Dr. Mitchell. You don't hear thing. Thing for so left, right, and center, and make a play. And I still feel like maybe don't play about 2 or 3. Because I went searching for them. Just to remind you that a few months ago, and then you stand in parliament and say, oh, you was hero, no, you is hero. And mind you, no surprise. No surprise that I'm making that public. Take that piece and bring it. That you hear somebody come and say, well, Dr. Mitchell, you want her. Or you maybe ask her for a woman. Well, if he did, he had damn right to do so. Based on the amount of spending, she had her own budget within the party. It maybe just wasn't said in the House of Parliament. But she had her own monies allocated from Dr. Mitchell's pocket. You have right to beg for a woman. Have to have a level of standard. Have to have a level of standard. No, and you see, the integrity of a good person, the integrity of a good person, you're somebody go fall out. And to help to answer Marty's question, you're an individual go fall out. I have exes that could tell people plain out, listen to me, that person was a good person. Circumstances might have arisen that we cannot remain together. And we didn't have the best to remain together. But you can take this stance that, even if we had whatever differences, that person was good to me. That is where the blessing come, They say, don't damn the bridge you cross. They say, don't damn the bridge you cross. So the integrity to be kept there is watch out. People, you need to understand that we had fallen out within the party. I'm leaving the party, fine, no problem. But Dr. Mitchell as an individual was a good person to me. No time. I can't. Somebody may need to draw me to that. Will she ever at any given time said to the people that, Dr. Mitchell did assist me greatly. Or Dr. Mitchell did this or do that. But no, you drag the man name in the mud. Drag it after you stood in the House of Parliament. All what you say after the is none and void. You hear the things and them you said in the House of Parliament? Those things have been recorded. There are clocks and so on in the House that took notes. So we had that in black and white. Everything you say after that and them other program, that don't making sense. We had things in the House of Parliament. We have state business in where you disclosed the greatness of the man. Seeing the man is not knowing the man. Knowing the man is seeing the man. As one of my ex-good colleagues would say. So you come with all your old talk. All your old talk. We had no problem with you leaving. You're not the first person to have left the political party. You're not the first person to have left any political party. But as I said, political moral and integrity stands firm in your stance as an individual, as a human being. You could simply say to yourself, listen to me, that person did me nothing, you know. I'm dissatisfied. I've had enough. And I believe, you know, if I join the other side or cross the flow, I may have a better life or a better living. You don't do that. You run down the poor man. The man don't tell you nothing. You know the man old already. The man going home. The man nearly bed. You know he do well. But you on national television, oh, you're talking about you. Somebody said to me, there's a Dr. Mitchell type. I don't know. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to understand something. And as I said that earlier on, it is your preference. Maybe next election, who knows? And maybe some of you might not talk to me. Who knows? Maybe next election I support the other side. Who knows? Maybe they do something, maybe political. Because I still have to make a decision during an election, you know. I say, really, I find that was done well, you know. I grade them and I see like, yeah, you know, not bad, you know. I joke. But however, you never know. Somebody who was song supporter, somebody who was a song supporter may switch. You simply respect them for the decision they make. That is all. Things just happen. You have people mash up, friend, family. It happens. But there are times, ladies and gentlemen, and I know if it's one person, I have seen grown as a politician, and she would have grown even on me. She would have grown even. Oh my God. I didn't want to laugh. Here comes my wife. I mentioned about being an NDC. My wife says to me, you can't do that. All right. Yeah, and Matt is, and you, but that's my point. That's my point. And they went at it and they became friends and so on, and fine. They became good, they joined up, they you know, and that is okay. But they kept their morals. They kept their morals. And that's what I'm saying to you. You didn't hear Peter David go in and castigate Tillman Thomas or the NDC when he left the party. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife is on the live and she's going at it with me. Because look at my wife is saying to me, I would have to sleep outside if I do vote. And their persons agreeing with this. I might be the one that might be talking politically, but my wife is different when it comes to politics, man, and NNV. So and let me get to the point that I want to make. Now, people will do good for you, and things may happen. Things may happen, right? But however, people, there is nothing wrong in saying to an individual, hey, you know, whatever we would have had in the past, this person was good to me. This is where your blessing comes, you know, people. Makes no sense because you want somebody to go, you know, again, you have to castigate them. No. right? She was one of the persons they were going at. They were literally going at her in the ability to speak. I remember most of the times you listen to they talking on the other side, they spoke as it relates to the way she speaks. And they went on and on and on about it. And I have seen this woman grow and grow and grow as a female politician. You understand me? So I know definitely that she, and I said that, and I'm not afraid to say that, even if no, I'm bashing her for she action in parliament, this is one of the persons, as a female politician, I had great respect for. It came down a line. I mean, there is Clarice Modeste at the top, and then there is Clarice Modeste second, third, fourth, fifth, and then there is Miss Emmeline Pear. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Modeste for me, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I mean, that's my stalwart of a female politician throughout the length and breadth of the Caribbean, not just Grenada. You understand me? When you talk female politician and you talk a female individual in politics, if you don't call the name Clarice Modeste Cohen, then stay quiet. Pleasant good afternoon to you, to the parliamentary representative of St. Mark's, that would have remained there for a lengthy period of time, the grandmother of the house. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of this evening's conversation. All right. We're going to be here tomorrow again. All right. I believe tomorrow we got our last assembly before Christmas. And then we're going to come back, I think, maybe about the 2nd of January or thereabout. No, the week of Old Year's. We must end the year properly. But however, tomorrow we got our Christmas party. We're going to have our Christmas party. I can't definitely would do after Christmas. Yeah, tomorrow is clear your chest. Wow. Yes, tomorrow is clear your chest. Whatever way you guys want to clear your chest, I want to accommodate a clear your chest tomorrow. I like the topic tomorrow. That's it. Clear your chest. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it was another wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope everybody is doing fine. Somebody's saying, I want a doll. You want a doll for Christmas party? Whatever you want, Jolanda. Whatever you want. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was another wonderful evening. It is always my pleasure to come on here and give you information and try to, in my best way possible, give you some information. I'll come up in Chantimel for Dutch party. When it's Dutch party, he doesn't share no information. Mattis is saying Clarice and OJ used to bounce up on the campaign trail and have big laugh and talk. I respect her for that. Never spoke bad about the man and vice versa, but she come over as well and make it 11. You going real good, we? You're going real good until the last part. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you all don't know, the candidate at one time in St. Mark's for the National Democratic Congress was my uncle, Osborne James, a stalwart of a man in all sense. But however, let me not even start. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget, Bihari, if you have information for me, send it for me now. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Back in Time dance. That's on Boxing Night at the Duquesne RC Center. That's on Boxing Night, as I aforementioned. $15 for single, couple $25. Dress code is in full effect. Red, black, or any of the combination. Music by a popular DJ. best dressed couple, best dressed male and female, best dancing couple, and lots of eats and drinks. They're saying to you, have yourself a merry, merry Christmas. All right, so don't forget to go be a part of this one. All right, and what else do we have? Filmos Wild Meat Cook Up, that would be on Saturday the 23rd of December. That would be out there in Guava Estate. I would be there because there is goat, there is maniku, there is rami, monkey, duck, tattoo, iguana, and all I want of there is plus much more. There is plus much more. All right, Rush Entertainment Club, that they would have a dance thereafter, and you party to the songs of Ben Lex Song System. All right, so go be a part of this one. All right. Shantimel Organization for Development, they present Christmas night dance, dress code in full effect by high school, prizes to be won. Entry is only $15, party start at 9 a.m. Music by Mad Kid and Swift at the Shantimel Arts School. So don't forget to be a part of that. On Sunday the 31st, Shantimel Organization for Development presents Dutch Party, Old Year's Night, music by DJ Eric, dress code elegance, door opens at 7, contribution of $10. Ladies bring a dish, men bring a bottle at the Shantimel RC School. All right, so go be a part of this one also. All right, right then, you send it for me here, I'll send you my bill in private. Yeah, you understand me? All right, so that was Sunday gone, so we need not to do this one. That other two is gone. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys are continuing to enjoy the remainder of the Christmas season. I know definitely some of you all might be doing some shopping and so on. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed at no point in time. Whatever money that is in your pocket, use it. You would get it back next year. All right. So use whatever monies you have in your pocket this year. I will be receiving, I will be accepting whatever gifts that I can. And I'm kind of disappointed in the classroom because I said to you guys that all I need for Christmas is a sultan. I am so sultanish. Somebody is wanting to say Prince, but they say price, or they saying price. Price for what? I mean, the two events, one is 15, one is 10. I don't know if that's the same question that you're asking. Yes, sultan. I don't understand why somebody can marry Christmas with a sultan. You understand me? I don't understand this thing at all. Oh, somebody. Miss Bola. She has she says she has black cake. What's the price of your black cake? Or WhatsApp me so tomorrow I can give you the information. 5365843. WhatsApp me the information. Black cake. So I have a black cake. And don't forget, on the 26th, I am celebrating my first year of my marriage. And so everybody's invited to stay at their home and message me and wish me happy anniversary. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I pray that you all have yourself a blessed night. And God's blessings to each and every one of you. I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Roy and I are safe. I want to know the persons on the Western Corridor. Don't forget, the inclemency of the weather would have brought some form of natural disasters. And I'm speaking slides and floods in certain areas. And so we're asking you guys to be extra careful. And you see, when you see natural disaster, persons normally think of just the hurricane and so on and so forth. But the inclemency of that weather would have brought some, natural, destruction in some areas. So persons who are aware as it relates to places like the Crusher and Macaibo and those places, and then I think there is some slides in those areas. So persons are asked to be extra careful. All right. So God's blessings to each and every one of you. Don't forget, before we leave, have yourself a blessed evening. And this one here is locally made, so please support. Is there any joint, any pains? You can get this right here.
Are you having problems with pain? Well, we've got the solution. Use Nut Magic Pain Reliever today and feel the pain fade away. Nut Magic Pain Reliever is produced right here in Grenada by Black Gold Enterprise and can be used for the relief of sore muscle, joint pain, cramps, backaches, arthritis, and other related symptoms. It's magic in a bottle. You can find Not Magic Pain Reliever at major pharmacies and supermarkets on the island. Call or WhatsApp Black Gold Enterprise at 458-1330. Look for Not Magic Pain Reliever on Facebook and on Instagram, or send us an email at bgegrenada@gmail.com. Get yours today and say goodbye to pain. It's magic in a bottle.
It's magic.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful evening. I hope to get to see you on Friday. Oh yes, people, Santa Claus will be in town on Friday. I don't know, I have a friend who wants to portray Santa Claus on Friday. So he would be in town on Friday taking pics with the kids and with adults and so on and so forth. Miss Bola, I would like to order one black cake for my wife because I won't hear the last of this. So please message me. As I said, I may want a black cake. My wife is just into cake. I don't know what about cake. Imagine she eat the whole wedding cake. I don't see why she had to eat more cake again this year. She eat her entire wedding cake. I'm putting this out there. You understand me? My wife ate the entire wedding cake. The 3 stands of cake was ate by my wife. Can you believe this? She get married to herself. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday I'll be in St. George's. So if you got your kids and you just want to take a random photo, right? We can have a vibe and a lime and a talk and a chat, you know, just to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. So don't forget, on Friday we would be in St. George's, Santa Claus with his elves. All right. Good evening to everybody, and have yourself well, yeah, show my bake our cake. I glad excuse. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the evening. God's blessings to each and every one of you. I think I said that before, but my wife has me going here. So God's blessings to each and every one of you. See you again tomorrow. All right.
Check. You know it's a beat to the bling representing for DJ Soca-holic. You run the place, you lock the place, keeping it real all the time. Boogie in the Check. You know it's a beat to the bling representing for DJ Soca-holic. You run the place, you lock the place, keeping it real all the time. Boogie and dancing straight.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. 4 hungry children and a crop in the field. I just don't understand. You're a real heartless woman. You're gone with the men from the mainland. You pick a fine time to leave me, Lucille. You pick a fine time to leave me, Lucille.
When I hear this one boy, my heart beat. They get shallow, in a sheep. He said it's a promise he must keep. If you can get home and them take sheep. This one was brought to my attention. Shallow pray for sheep more than woman. But he said things hard in recession. So the sheep must have an abortion. Boy, I never see nothing so yet. One government with 2 cabinet. Bound to lie is leader of the gang. So they running rings around Tillman. If they feel that tongue people sleeping, Pam Manuel judgment they come in. Tongue people say brimstone and fire. For what bound to lie do to Peter? If you're living in glass house, you shouldn't have no stone. And if you see goodness on a hill, don't touch it, just leave it alone. Especially when quarantine coming, there is plenty of name calling. So if your name mention, please don't say we fat, but just take parang in you. Jumping plane, traveling like they're crazy. Tillman please take charge of NDC. Accept our jokers in government. Dotation grossly incompetent. All they care about is the big work. And for this country they give one. Put the yellow in a barrel and roll the backside on Market Hill. Daddy only take any money and making a set up a coatie. Desmond said that he replaying the skin, not even a shoes that he buying. But for carnival he surprised me, brand new clocks boy if you see daddy. So I went and talked to my papi and listened the question I'm asking. And when you get that new clocks the daddy, which color that man in the party? Are you alone on that style the daddy? The queen for England have no back garden. And when you get that new clocks the daddy, which color that man in the party? Are you alone on that style the daddy? The queen for England have no back garden. Catch as Grenadians, they real angry, and so they upset with NDC. Everywhere you go, all where you pass, same story, NDC playing the ras. People catching hell in the country, but NDC blind like they can't see. Folk more short man abracadabra, in Swahili means bring back Jonah. Old parasite lazy as a louse, living happy in a big wall house, watching TV and on phone holy. A Papuntan man king at TV, like a sitting duck pushing the lock. Why the hell he go and look for work? He win the first prize convincingly. The laziest man of the century. If you're living in glass house, you shouldn't help no stone. And if you see goodness on a hill, don't touch it, just leave it alone. Especially when parent time coming, there is plenty of name calling. So if your name mention, please don't say we back, but just take parang in you. Cold pot telling potty bam bam black. What kind of green foolishness is that? Kesho take the beam from OTI before calling Nazim Bong to lie. All them nasty things he did before to Grenadians 15 years ago. My assessment now is harsh but brief. Nazim Bong to lie, he used to thief. Karim say he real sorry for me. Sheldon and Michael get well angry. Blaze and Butch laughing kaka kiki. They say I don't watch me girl like she give me sweat macaroni. They say she have me real choopity, but I'll tell them love is what she got, and she have me rust in that tight spot because she hold me and she squeeze me and put me in
Talkaholic, you know it.
And in the night when I'm feeling horny, she put me in a tight spot. Oh, in a tight spot. Since I know Roxanne, she bam bam flat. All of a sudden she bam get fat. Roxanne creating false impression. They say Roxanne wearing false bam bam. Soca Monarch night was real drama. Roxanne say she bam bam squeezing her. She zip down she pants and take she hand and pull out a brand new false bam bam. Plead your cause, Roxanne call me cussing. Jerry coming false bam bam missing. Some people have real teeth in habit. On me line someone pass and take it. If they want one, make the sacrifice. Cause you that's have it for a good price. I'll launch an investigation to find out who teeth me false bam bam. If you're living in glass house, you